Hi and welcome, Kat from Sacred Soul Rising. So I want to give you, when you're shifting through an awakening journey, the stages that you go through and how you shift through it, and what, you know, if you're really early on in the journey, or maybe you're in that real, you know, feeling like you're going through ego death, or maybe you've gone through ego death and dark night of the soul and you've gone through it quite a few times, and you're really with your head in your hands going, does this ever get any better? Am I going to feel better? I want you to know that yes, of course you are going to feel better. You are going through an awakening journey. It's a journey that you shift through. So first of all, you will have that initial thing that comes in, and that initial thing is awakening the Kundalini. When that Kundalini is starting to awaken, it can feel very euphoric. It feels very divine, and it feels you're connected to everything. You're feeling in a really, really high place. This may be twin flame journey. It may be something else that you're going through. Remember, an awakening journey happens for very different reasons, you know, or what catapults you into it. It might be disease, it might be a relationship breakdown, it might be a career breakdown, it might be a twin flame, but there is normally an initial point where the energy is building, but it gets to a certain point, and that's when the spark happens, or shall I say ego death and dark night of the soul. When ego death and dark night of the soul happens, you are thrown in, you are catapulted, you feel thrown around in the most darkest, roughest sea that you have ever been through, and you really literally will not be able to see a way out of it. What anybody does or tries to, you know, make you feel better is not going to make you feel better at that point. Is going to make you feel like you are just broken on the floor. You just want to lay in that fetus position and just cry so hard. But often at that point, you can't even get the tears out because it is all within you. Nothing is making sense anymore. Nothing at all. You are just questioning everything. Dark night of the soul and ego death is there to help you release and dissipate everything that you have thought your life was, and that you have built on a false sense. You see, an awakening journey brings you back to and aligns you with your true soul essence. This is not easy to go through, and you may feel that you're going through it and you're just never going to come out of it. I want to reassure you that you do. The thing is, at this point, you want to stay in all mind and ego. The best thing for you to start to shift out of this is to really start to meditate, to do things that align you with soul, that bring you joy. And you may be going, nothing brings me joy right now. Nothing at all brings me joy. I feel even the things that I used to love no longer resonate with me anymore, no longer make any sense with me. I want you to know that it will shift, but you have to really slow down everything in your life, get out in nature, really align with soul. So meditation, you know, turning off all that noise that was really, you know, big in your life. Turn off the telly, turn off the radio, turn off lots of music that've got lots of words in. Keep everything very simple to begin with. This is only to begin with. This is while you are going through ego death and dark night of the soul. Use your hands, get creative, and it might be something very simple. It might be something that you maybe enjoyed as a child. Start to bring it back. This will help you start to slow down that mind and the ego aspect, and start to just come into soul essence, into soul energy. And that's what is happening with ego death and dark night of the soul. You're shifting from a carbon-based physical being into a multidimensional being. You're shifting from being led by mind and ego into a very soul-based life. This is not an easy shift to go through. The mind and the ego, and this is why you really need to see yourself as that three-part being, that you have a body, that you have a mind. The mind is showing me this. The mind feels really low at the moment, but knowing that you truly are the soul, and the soul just is. The soul does not identify really as male or female. It just is in existence. The soul has no preference. It is not duality. This, when we come down here on earth, this is to experience duality of seeing things of good or bad. But once you are on the path of awakening, you are now shifting out of the duality aspect into a singularity of just being, of knowing that every experience is there to help you grow, to help you expand. And really, truly, there is no good or bad. It is just an expression being created through you. Now, if you're early on in the journey, that'll be like, what? I don't even understand what she is saying there. But save this video, come back to this video, because when you have shifted a little bit further along, this video will make sense to you. So once you have started to shift, more into a soul-based life, and you're getting out of mind and ego. The mind and ego, by the way, does not like you to get out of mind and ego. It loves you being in fear. Mind and ego likes to operate a lot of the time in fear, lack, you know, those lower energies. And also what I want to say is your core wounds are activated on this. And this might be from past lives as well. So being in fear, being in lack, betrayal, abandonment. But instead of seeing it that other people are doing it to you, look, shift it around and go, okay, where can I stop abandoning myself? Where can I show up for myself? Where have I maybe betrayed myself? And I really want to express this to you today. Often we betray ourselves by trying to fit ourselves into somebody else's thoughts about us. But when we really truly know who we are and we stand by our sovereignty and we stand and really go, no, this is who I am. And I love and respect myself, not to morph into who you need me to be, but to still stand in my power, to still stand in my sovereignty, but to meet you where you are. But that doesn't mean that I am going to change myself. Then we stop betraying ourselves. You see, this journey is a journey of growth at every single level. So you're going to go through growth of body, growth through mind, growth through spiritual, through soul. You are going through at every single level. Your emotions, you know, what was once would trigger you. As you move along this journey, will no longer trigger you. You will just observe what is rising within you. This journey will shift you into a higher state of consciousness, and you will know. Often people go, but how do I know when I'm shifting on the journey? You will know because you will no longer be triggered by where you once were. And, you know, often on this journey, we go through changes. We go through physical changes. The body changes. You know, we may have rashes that suddenly come up over nowhere. Our hair changes. Our eyes change. The biggest organ on our body is the skin. Often the skin goes through changes as well. There are lots of things, and we can get this. People often ask me as well about bloating on this journey. Yes, we can, as that light is pouring in. You see, as you're shifting into that multidimensional being, you're able to hold more light frequency. And by holding more light frequency, you're able to shift your whole frequency. And as that light frequency moves through you, it is feeding those ley lines. You see, this journey has so much more than just one single thing. It is so multidimensional is the journey. Your whole frequency is changing. You know, the Laika and the Mayans, I often mention it. You know, they talked about that the world would end. The world was ending as we knew it. we are shifting into this beautiful new frequency of being in that love, of being in that gratitude, and knowing that we are the creators. We are the creators, and we create our frequency. We create our energy. And in creating our own frequency, creating our own energy, we attract in exactly what we need. So if you're struggling at the moment, what is the lesson there? If you feel that you are alone at the moment, are you alone, or are you in solitude so you can hear the whispers of your own soul? Because the soul does the work on this journey. This is not done by mind and ego. The soul is doing the work. The soul is guiding you. It's whether you hear your soul, or are you making yourself so busy that you can't hear the whispers of your own soul? You see, this journey is a journey back to your original soul blueprint. This journey is an unbecoming and really starting to step into your purpose and your power, to know that you are that divine sovereign being and there's nobody else creating this journey but you. So what are you going to create on your beautiful journey? If you need more help and support, my website's there. I send you so much love. Many blessings.